Hi and welcome to Maria Maths. Today we are going to be looking at the topic operating with integers. This topic is in relation to our number system that we use today. So what do we need to know when operating with integers? The first thing we need to know are the meaning of integers. And integers are all the positive and negative numbers in our number system. The second thing is, if we have a positive and a negative, it will give us a negative value. For example, if we have 7 plus minus 4, it will equal 7 minus 4. However, if we have two negatives, it will give us a positive. So if we have 7 minus negative 7, the two negatives will turn into a positive, which will be 7 plus 7. When we're dealing with powers, such as 4 squared, it will be 4 times 4. If we have 4 cubed, we'll multiply 4 3 times, and so on. When we're dealing with square roots, if we have the square root of 4 to the power of 2, it will essentially cancel out and will give us the answer of 4. If we have a cube root of 4 to the power of 3, those will cancel out as well. And the most important point when operating with integers is using our order of operations. Here we have BODMAS, but some people also use PEDMAS, and they essentially mean the same thing. So when we are working with equations, we should always start by using brackets first, then our order such as powers and exponents, division, multiplication, addition, and then subtraction. In this first example, it's telling us to calculate 2 minus 5 times 6 plus minus 7. And for this example, we're going to be using BODMAS, our order of operations. So this is telling us to use brackets first. And because we have brackets in the minus 7, it will give us 2 times 2 minus 5 times 6 minus 7. The next step is telling us to look at the order. However, there's no powers in this equation, so we don't need to do it. The same thing will apply to the D, because we aren't dividing anything in this equation either. However, we are multiplying, so our next step will be to multiply 5 and 6, and that will give us 2 minus 30 minus 7. And then from then, we can subtract what we need to. 2 minus 30 minus 7 will give us minus 35. For example 2, we have calculate the square root of 144 plus 15 times 2 squared minus 4 cubed. So we should be using brackets first, which means we have to multiply 15 and 2 together. That will then give us 30 squared. Our next step is telling us to look at the order, which is our square roots, our exponents, and our powers. So now we can just read this from left to right and work out every value. That will give us 144. The square root of 144 will give us 12, plus 900 minus 64. And that will give us 848. Our third example is a worded problem that states the sum of two numbers is 3 and their difference is 21. What are the two numbers? So the first thing we should do is put this worded problem into an equation. So we have two unknown numbers that add up to 3, but can be subtracted together to give us 21. The second thing we should do is label each equation. We've labeled them equation 1 and equation 2, but we've also labeled our unknown numbers as x and y. So now we have x plus y will give us 3, and x minus y will give us 21. So now by using something called simultaneous equations, which we'll touch on in a future video, we can add these two equations together to solve for x. So when we add equation 1 and equation 2 together, it'll give us x plus y minus y equals 3 plus 21. Y minus y will give us 0y, so they'll cancel out. And x plus x will give us 2x, and 3 plus 21 will give us 24. Now, the next step for solving for x is to divide the left side by 2 and the right side by 2, and that will give us x is equal to 12. And now we know that x is equal to 12, we can plug it back in. And we can say 12 plus y is equal to 3 from our first equation. So what could y be to give us an answer of 3? And y will give us minus 9. So we know that a positive and a negative will give us a negative number. So that's really telling us 12 minus 9 is 3. But we should always check it using our second equation. So now we have 12 minus y is equal to 21. 12 minus 9 will give us a positive number. So 12 plus 9 gives us 21. So our two numbers are 12 and minus 9. Thank you so much for watching this. And if you like this, please like and subscribe.